I know it's only 5:26, but hey, I got a pretty wacky sleep schedule. So down below in the description box, I put all the topics. We're going to start using timestamps around here on these streams. We're going to be here for about an hour or so. I'm exhausted. Yeah, I even printed out the show. It's crazy. Times have changed. So I put everything down below in the description box. We got a lot of... I was going to say shit. See, I'm trying to tone down the cursing a little bit, you know. Trying to tone it down. But nonetheless, I haven't done a stream in a while. And we got a lot going on this week. And if you knew what I've been going through, man, oh man. So what I've been researching is I'm trying to write a book. You know, I'm not trying to be like no writer or anything like that, but I want to get my message out there. You know, especially how boxing has affected like my life overall and why I'm here today. So here's my little list right here down below in the description box. You can read along with me. So we got to do a December 14th to December 16th weekend recap. Conor Benn, he knocked out Chris Algieri. That's where we're going to start. But we're going to wait for people to trickle in. I've been having some issues with YouTube. I've been, unfortunately, shadow banned for fucking videos I did 2 years ago. So basically how it works is when YouTube wants to censor you for some shit that you talked about, you know, it's certain things that the powers that be on YouTube, they don't like. They don't like when you talk about. So I've noticed a noticeable decline and dip in my my content since I came back off suspension. And basically, yeah, so we're going to be dealing with this for about another, hopefully, less than 30 days or so. So it's like, all right, YouTube, you proved your point. I'm falling in line. So anyway, we got to talk about Conor Benn. Where does he rank at 147 pounds? We're going to go through the whole everything. Katie Taylor doesn't beat Amanda Serrano. I posted all of this in the description box, by the way. Dmitry Bivol should have went for the KO against Umar Salamov. He should have. I watched that fight. I was here Saturday from about 9 a.m. until maybe about like 1 a.m. or so. My body crashed, so I had to take a nap on the couch. The first Probellum card review. Sonny Edwards looks good, not great, defeating Jayson Mama. Will he unify next? Donaire versus Norberto Jimenez was a controversial draw. Fight was supposed to end in 12 rounds, not 10. Nonito Donaire versus Raymart typo, bear with me. Raymart Gaballo via body shot that was on Showtime. What's next? Inoue rematch. Revisit Casimero, even though Casimero and his team pretty much told Donaire's wife, Rachel Donaire, to suck his cock. Some old shit like that. Vasil Lomachenko defeats Richard Comey. How did he look? Where does he rank at 135 against Devonta Tank Davis, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, George Kambosos, and Teofimo Lopez in a rematch? Fights of the week in short preview. Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. Michael Soro versus Israel Madrimov. Beterbiev versus Marcus Browne. Joseph Parker versus Derek Chisora. Gilberto Ramirez versus Yunieski Gonzalez. Darren Williams versus Frank Gore. And the second Probellum card. So there. Those are the topics of today's show. We're trying some new shit around here. I got a lot going on. So we got about 10 minutes to chew the fat. So let me tell you how the format's going to be going forward. So since you guys are here, you can help me with it. I need a time slot. I've been on fucking YouTube for I don't want to start cussing. I've been on YouTube for a really long time. And I don't have a time slot. That's why, even though we're at 80,000 subscribers, this is my second channel on YouTube. The first channel, we had something like 28,000 when I left. This channel has 80. I should have been at 150,000 subscribers at least 3 years ago. And one of the reasons is inconsistency. You've known I'll just disappear for fucking 2 weeks at a time. But now I'm a 38-year-old man. You know, I've been doing this shit for a long time. We have access to the fighters. We have access to the events. Now I need a time slot. I need a time slot. It's time. So this year, 2021, has been the most productive and best financial subscribers and everything year we've had on YouTube since 2016. That's a long ass time. So for me not to have a podcast or a time slot, that's my goal for January 2021. I got a team, a paid team, that's the goal. But I'm thinking about 5 p.m. I'm thinking about Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, Thursday at 5 p.m. Because, see, for example, Mondays, you can wrap up everything throughout the week. Throughout the weekend. And whatever controversy happened on the weekend, Monday's a good day to talk about it because, everything is pretty much already in. Wednesday, we can start focusing on wrapping up last week's events, but also focusing on the upcoming week's events. Thursday, here's the thing. I want to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But I already got to stream and do videos on Saturdays. And let me tell you, on Saturdays, I'm a low down son of a bitch. Nobody gets in the way of my boxing. So once I lock in the covering boxing, that's all I'm doing on Saturday, all day, every day. But the thing is, if you got a midday card here in the States, which starts anywhere between 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., in the case of this last weekend, cards starting at like 9 a.m. You see what I'm saying? So, but normally about 1 p.m. A Showtime ESPN card doesn't start till about 10 p.m. So I'm here from fucking usually noon until well past midnight, and then by the time the post-fight press conference is coming, I'm barely alive. I done fucking chain smoked, I'm running on E. I'm cussing up a storm because when I'm tired, I get real irritable. And I be watching the fight. I'm like, shit. I start cussing. So anyway, what I'm saying is I need a time slot. So I'm thinking Mondays, 5 p.m., Wednesdays, 5 p.m. But do I do Thursdays, 5 p.m. or Fridays, 5 p.m.? We got to figure that out. But anyway, let's get to it. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe, and T Street Controversy with FV360. Down below in the description box is the link to my social media and Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at T Street Controversy, Instagram at T Street Controversy, Facebook at T Street Controversy. And this is what we want to talk about right here. This is where we're going to start. Conor Benn. Hold up. Let's look at his resume first. Where you at? 20-0 with 13 KOs. Now listen. We're about to be real critical with my man Conor Benn. We're going to be real critical. We're going to be critical. We're going to be critical. 20-0 with 13 KOs. Chris Algieri has been a part-time fighter, book writer, author, nutritionist. Let's go look at Chris Algieri's resume. 25-4, 9 KOs. His last fight, Mikel Lespierre. Yeah, okay, all right. But before that, he ain't fight since 2019 against Tommy Coyle. Daniel Gonzalez. I purchased this fight on Fight.tv, by the way. It was on pay-per-view. In fact, I think I paid for both of these fights. Then Errol Spence. Put it this way. I was never high on Chris Algieri. You see what I'm saying? So even though my dumb ass picked Chris Algieri to win, I knew better. I was going with my heart. You want to know a funny story? Around the time that he beat Ruslan Provodnikov and before he fought Manny Pacquiao, T Street was dabbling in the dark arts. So basically, I had like these chicken bones, these leaves, there was dry chicken bones. These chicken bones, these dry chicken bones, these leaves, some banana peels. I printed out some black and white photos of Chris Algieri, got some frames and some candles. Basically, I tried to voodoo Chris Algieri. I was a hardcore Manny Pacquiao fan, packed hard all the way. So I was like, you know what, Pacquiao, and was this before or after Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez? Well, anyway, I was like, listen, we need Mayweather Pacquiao, so I'm going to try to voodoo Chris Algieri, and you know, Mama Pacquiao, that's Anita Pacquiao, she was into the voodoo. So anyway, long story short, I was trying to voodoo him, but you know, the shit ended up backfiring on me, and my life has never been the same. So anyway, fast forward. I like Chris Algieri, but he not really that good. Like, you know, my concern was, okay, what kind of fight is Chris Algieri going to come out to fight? Is he going to come out to try to crack Conor Benn and give him some shit like, yeah, I'm not just some soft ass puncher, kind of like people thought George Kambosos was? But no, he started dancing around and shit, doing monkey ninja rolls. He tripped over Conor Benn's feet, and then he rolling all around, all dramatic.
How dare you?
What up, Count? Woodley, the Browne of MMA, no punches, Paul KO on 4. I don't think so, but we're gonna get to that. We got a list. We got a list here. So look at that Conor Benn's record. Now, okay, Sebastian Formella. Sean Porter should have stopped for Sebastian Formella. I mean, I understand that, you know, he survived against Conor Benn too. But yo, it's, you know, who rates Sebastian Formella? Adrian Granados was long over the hill when he was running. Samuel Vargas, war-torn. Put it this way, I get what they're doing. Put him against guys that other world champions have fought. Danny Garcia, Sean Porter both fought Granados. Danny Garcia fought Sam Vargas. Sean Porter fought Formella. But in Chris Algieri, like, listen, he did get the KO, but I'm not really, like, here's the thing, he's good. He passes somewhat of the eye test, but I don't trust him. I don't trust him. Is that a crime? Now, when you look at it, let's go take a look at the KO here. For those who don't know, this is how the fight ended. I can't show you the whole thing because the zone be on some bullshit. So you know how Chris Algieri dancing around, prancing. Basically, he prancing around, you know, doing a little pity-pat jab, trying to feel him out. Gets caught on the ropes. A little pity-pat jab bullshit. Little rangefinder bullshit. Bang. Look, ass up, face down. Ass up, face down. Crazy. He did it to himself. He did it to himself. So let's go look at the rankings of 147 pounds and rank the 147-pound fighters. Let me zoom in. By the way, the link to the rankings are down below in the description box. FV360.com. All right. So we're not going to go too deep and talk about Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, and your Dennis Ugas versus Butayev and Stanley Jonas and all that. But let's keep it focused on Conor Benn. In the top 10 of 147 pounders, where do you rank Conor Benn? Now, me, number 1, and it's a slight edge. It's a slight edge. Just a slight edge. I got Terence Crawford, number 1. Slight edge. He stopped Sean Porter. Errol Spence couldn't. Slight edge. So I got Terence Crawford, number 1. Errol Spence, number 2. Your Dennis Ugas, number 3. Number 4, shit start getting tricky. Number 4, now this is my list, all right? So don't come giving me shit. Like, you can have your list. I'm not going to judge you on your list. But don't give me shit on my list. All right. So, number 4, I'm going with Vergil Ortiz. Number 5, I'm going with Boots Ennis. Number 6 and down, and that's when things start getting a little risky. A little risque. You got guys like Conor Benn, WBA world champion Razvan Ratab Butayev. Well, actually, no. Let's start over. Number 1, Terence Crawford. Number 2, Errol Spence. Number 3, Ugas. Number 4, Vergil Ortiz. Number 5, Boots Ennis. Number 6, it's still risky. Number 6, who's number 6, man? It's still, still risky. See, number 6, shit. So number 6, we gotta be like standing up. We gotta be like kind of Benn, Butayev, Stanionis. Who's number 6? David Evanesi, and I think that Conor Benn can beat him, my personal opinion. So he's there. By the way, I was never high on this dude. This dude was Errol Spence mandatory, and he just lost against a Cody Crowley. I believe the dude's name is. I watched the fight, but I wasn't paying attention to it, if that makes sense. On the Showtime card this past weekend. But the thing is, the good thing for Conor Benn fans is he's up there with the caliber of guys that we're talking about. He's definitely in the top 10. I mean, I think that Stanionis. Wait a minute. Stanionis. Amantas Stanionis. I think he's being slept on. I think dude is good. You know what I mean? Of course, you fight up to the level of competition. But I think, he's good. Oh, you got Thurman. Nah, Porter's retired. You can't count Porter. Porter's retired. And Thurman, I don't count Thurman because Thurman's going on a 3-year layoff, even though he's going to be fighting Mario Barrios. That's the rumor. But we're not going to talk about that until tomorrow. So, but right now, I'm not counting Thurman, and Sean Porter is retired. Don't get me off track, Wilby. Now I got to count Thurman now. And then Mario Barrios is at 147. Well, listen, that's my list right there, damn it. So I'm going to cap out. I'm going to just do a top 8. How about that? So we got Terence Crawford by a slight, very, very thin margin because he stopped, or more so made the man's father throw in the towel. He made the man's father call it. So I got Terence Crawford number 1 at 147. I'm sorry, man. Listen, it's my opinion.
How dare you?
What do you put Thurman if he KOs Barrios? Right now, nah. You're not going to distract me. I'm not going to allow you to distract me. Thanks for the super chat, but I can't allow it. Nope. You're trying to trick me up. So listen, let me finish. Oh, my bad. The camera was on. Hold on. Where we at? Here we go. Let me finish. Should I write this down? No, we're not. Terence Crawford, number 1. Errol Spence, number 2. Your Dennis Ugas, number 3. Vergil Ortiz, number 4. Boots Ennis, number 5. 6 start getting tricky. But listen, my number 6 is Stanionis. I think it's him. Butayev, number 7. Conor Benn, number 8. That's it. That's my top 8. That's it. All right, down below in the description box. By the way, follow me on Twitter. Let me pull up my Twitter link right here real quick. Follow me on Twitter at T Street Controversy. I've been suspended twice. This is my 3rd account. I've calmed down a lot. I'm pretty chill. But before I was real hardcore. Like I was a little too hardcore for Twitter, apparently. But yeah, here's my Twitter right there. Down below in the description box is a link to the WBC channel app, powered by the Vive Network, Roku, Android, Apple. So we got to move on to the 3rd topic. We already talked about Conor Benn. Listen, I gave it all to you. We got to talk about Katie Taylor now. So on the undercard or the chief support or co-feature of Conor Benn, KO, and Chris Algieri, you had Katie Taylor, who, what was this girl's name? Oh, Lord. Hold on. Let me pull it up real quick. I forgot the poor lad's name. What was the girl name? Something Sharapova. I forgot the girl name. Jesus. Well, anyway, listen. Katie Taylor good. Surprisingly, despite her being from Northern Ireland, she's from Northern Ireland, right? Is that right? I always get that mixed up. Well, anyway, I've interviewed Katie Taylor multiple times in person. One of the only boxers like I've ever done that with before. Feruza, there you go. This girl right here. Well, listen, Katie Taylor can be described as a pressure-fighting power puncher. But really, she don't be knocking people out. You see what I'm saying? 20-0 with 6 KOs from Bray, Ireland. Undisputed champion of 135 pounds. 35 years old. She fought this girl to a unanimous decision victory. 14-2 with 8 KOs. You know what it is with Katie Taylor? She's very hittable. That's what it is. She's very hittable. And the way I feel is that 130-pound unified champion, Michaela Mayer, if she was to move up, and it's a shame because, you know, I'm half black, half Irish, like, you know, like it's in my blood, and half full El Chicano, El Negro Mexicano, like, you know, or at least I identify as all those three. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is I know a lot of my, you know, Irish, you know, family and brethren, they're going to be mad at me, but yo, I like Katie Taylor. But listen, skills pay the bills. I don't think she can beat this girl. 41-1 with 30 KOs. She's taken on a former Katie Taylor opponent in Mariam Gutierrez on the undercard of Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley 2. That's going to be this Saturday, December the 18th on Showtime pay-per-view for $49.99. Katie Taylor beat her up last year. Bubble fight, wasn't it? Yeah, I covered this fight. I think that Amanda Serrano was just a better overall boxer. I think that a boxer, you know, can beat Katie Taylor. You see what I'm saying? Katie Taylor, don't get me wrong, she can fight. You know, she'll bring the volume. But I think a boxer can take her out. Just my personal opinion. Well, according to Amanda Serrano, in fact, let me try to pull up this clip here. According to Amanda Serrano, it's actually going to be happening in Madison Square Garden April, May, June of 2022. And I believe it's going to be a headlined event. Like, they're not going to be no undercard. They are going to be the event. How much do you think that fight sells? Do you think it can sell out like Madison Square Garden, the big room where the Knicks play? I personally think it's going to be a small room fight, personally. Hold on, let me try to pull up this clip here. We're making good time. We got to move on to Dmitry Bivol. Should he have went for the KO against Umar Salamov. He fought on the zone this weekend in a Russian fight that was supposed to feature Probellum versus Teixeira, a WBO 154-pound eliminator of some sorts. But yeah, bro, I don't think that, oh, no, they didn't upload the, oh, here it is right here. Let's see what Amanda Serrano has to say. Hold on, I'm looking for the clip.
I was just able to eat more.
Yeah, pretty happy about it.
Yeah, no. I mean, I actually like featherweight 126. It disciplines me to watch what I eat. I don't like my body too much the way I look at 135, but the opportunities are here. So.
How many calories a day are you eating to make 126?
count my calories. I just make sure I eat well and train hard and cardio.
She'll make whatever weight is needed.
Yeah,
as you're
exactly.
talking about.
Exactly.
You're a true opportunist. You're a true champion. You go after it. You get the big fights. We know what could be at stake, and everyone's asking you about it. But, that could all go away. You've got to get through Mariam Gutierrez on Saturday night.
Definitely.
So in that sense, you moving up in weight 5 pounds from where we've seen you
No,
at
9 pounds.
9 pounds, excuse me.
2 weight classes.
Yeah, exactly. 126
That's
to 135.
That's
Yep.
true. 126 of late. You've fought in so many weight classes in so many short periods that sometimes you can get
It
confusing.
is hard to keep up. You'll hit from the teens to the 40s.
Yes.
Not a lot of fighters who do that.
From the 40s down to
Right,
the teens.
So
exactly.
you're
Yeah.
moving back up 2 weight classes here. This is going to be a challenge unto itself. What are you expecting Saturday?
Well, I'm expecting a war. Mariam Gutierrez, she's a tough, durable fighter. We saw horny losses against Katie Taylor. She is a natural 135 pounder. She's a little taller than me, so I have to go out there. This is like the measuring stick for me and Katie Taylor. I mean, I want to be able to show that I belong at 135. I have the strength. I got a knockout. I won a knockout at 135 in Argentina. I won the title there. So I know I'm capable of doing it. I just have to show the world that I belong at 135.
I was going to say, how much of a different boxer are you when the weight classes are that far apart? When you're in the teens versus the 30s, how is the knockout power?
Well, I have knockouts throughout all of them. I mean, the
Do you
highest.
feel different?
Yeah, I actually do. I feel stronger at 135 than I did my last fight at 126. Also, the girls are different too. The girls are a little slower once you go up there,
Right.
and when you lower, the girls are faster, and so am I. So I mean, this fight you're gonna see a little different. My opponent that I have Saturday is a lot slower than the opponent of my last fight. So you're gonna see a difference.
Katie Taylor just won last week. She's got the undisputed lockdown going, it seems, in
Yes.
the lightweight division. And, you've got to win this one on Saturday. She just won hers. I know you want that fight. We want that fight. Everybody wants that fight. Some people are now starting to say, I want to get your reaction, that this could literally be the biggest fight in women's boxing history.
I have to totally agree. I mean, this is, we both pound for pound, top 3. Whoever, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, whatever, we're in the top 3. So I think on everyone's pound for pound list, which is super amazing. My 2 fights ago, I fought another pound for pound fighter and I stopped her. So this is going to be the second time 2 pound for pound women are going against each other, and I'm excited, to see this fight happen. Katie Taylor is a hell of a fighter, and so am I. So we can show that who is the best fighter come that night.
Imagine New York's Madison Square Garden, kind
I
of your
know.
backyard. I mean, if that's the venue, that's history in itself. But
Yes, that's what they're saying. Oh
the
my
Irish
God.
and Puerto Rican crowds
I
there would be
know.
bananas.
I know. I'm telling everybody because I know the Irish people. They come and they support. So I'm telling all my Boricuas, we need to bring MSG down. Okay, all my Latinos, we have to go in deep.
all right, you are now promoted by Jake Paul.
Yes, sir.
MVP Promotions, and that was a big power move for
Yes.
you and your team. What does this mean overall to now be aligned with somebody who people they turn the TV on when he's around? Let's be fair.
I'm super excited. This has to be like the easiest and fastest decisions I ever made, the best decisions I made to sign with MVP. What he's done in the sport in such a little time, it's pretty amazing. He's changing the game. He's he's just bringing entertainment back to the sport. But it's not even entertainment because he's a real fighter. He's training as if he's a real fighter. He's always training as if he's the underdog, and a lot of people want to see him fail, but Jake Paul, he has that champion mindset, and he's gonna go out there and prove everyone wrong. So that's why I'm super proud to be a part of that because he's an amazing guy.
Do you struggle with the fact that certainly I know you don't want to look past your opponent? You're a combat sports veteran. I'm not saying that you will.
Yeah, we're gonna stop right there. Here's what's left on the topic. So we got to talk about the Dmitry Bivol. That's what we're gonna talk about next. Probellum's first card. Sonny at Works looks good. Donaire, Casimero pulling out during the weigh-in. Donaire stops Gaballo. Loma defeats Comey. Tank Davis's pay-per-view buys. And then the last topic is we're going to do a little quick preview of the cards coming up this weekend. I put everything down below in the description box. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. At T Street Controversy, just scroll up in the live stream chat. You'll see the link to my Twitter, but I'm going to put it there again anyway. So we've already talked about Conor Ben, Chris Algieri. Conor Ben knocking out Chris Algieri, pretty much putting him to sleep. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano. And now we're going to move on to Dmitry Bivol. Personally, I don't think Dmitry Bivol is going to get a Canelo fight. You know, at least not in the next 2 years or so. You know, he just doesn't have the excitement and doesn't really bring anything to the table. I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong. He's got some skills, but I don't think he's going to get the fight. You know, unless Canelo really wants to unify at 175 pounds. But I think that he will fight Bivol last if he gets through, meaning Canelo, Beterbiev. So let's just go ahead and talk about that right now. Dmitry Bivol, 19-0 with 11 KOs for Umar Salamov. Coming into the fight, he was 26-1. I watched the fight, covered it, did a whole video. Dmitry Bivol, listen, I get that Eastern European style. You know, it's like, okay, all right, he's good, he's boxing, he's winning. What more do you want him to do? But yo, you got to put on a show in this era of boxing, especially if you want to get Canelo. Now, that's not saying it's guaranteed if you put on a show you're going to get Canelo. You know, it's all politics. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, it just, you know, doesn't really mean anything. So, for example, let's look at his resume. Craig Edwards went to 12. Castillo went to 12. This is the guy who got put to crazy sleep by Colin Smith, by the way. Joe Smith rung his bell, by the way, went to 12. Jean Pascal went to 12. Chilembo went to 12. Like, you know what it feels like? Like, he doesn't have that extra gear. As a, you know, as it said in boxing, there's a gear missing. Like, he'll do just enough to beat you, but, like, you know, he won't open up. You know, I was watching the Salamov fight, and I'm thinking, like, bro, throw your hands. Get him out of there. And I mean, yeah, he was, you know, jabbing his face off, but it's like, bro, get him out of there, bro. Now, remember, listen, I'm going to go ahead and say, and I say it all the times, you are not going to always agree with me. There's going to be times, and I've been saying it for years, you're going to watch my videos, you're going to be like, all right, this guy's all right. And there's going to be other times you're going to watch, this fucking guy's a fucking dickhead. We're not always meant to agree. But I be here watching these fights by myself for years. I'll turn down pussy to cover these fights. You see what I'm saying? I turn down sex with beautiful women to cover these fights. You know, when I be watching these fights and I'm thinking, like, bro, this motherfucker ain't getting no Canelo. He ain't getting, like, you know, like, ain't nothing there. I like Bivol. I think he can, you know, fight. Joe Smith had him contemplating his life. Remember that? You know what? I want to pull up that clip, but we're short of time. Remember when Bivol, like, when Joe Smith cracked him and Bivol was looking all confused, like, what the fuck just happened to me? Whoa, as he was walking back to his corner. I be here watching these shits. And I'm just like, yo, I don't think he's going to get the fight. I like him. I don't think he's going to get the fight. I don't think he's going to get it. You know? So when we look at the 175-pound division as a whole, excuse me, 68. No, motherfucker, 175. I'm a little high, my bad. It's like, all right, you got Beterbiev taking on Marcus Browne, WBC mandatory this weekend. You got Joe Smith fighting Colin Johnson in January. Mind you, that's a 50-50 fight. We're going to have to do a whole fucking video stream on that right there. You know, but where does Bivol fit in? If Canelo was to move up, who do you think Canelo would fight first? Let's be honest. Who do you think Canelo would fight first? If Canelo goes back to 175, he's going to take the winner of Joe Smith, Colin Johnson scalp first. Then the Beterbiev fight, they're going to milk this, make this a super big, crazy fight that Canelo can lose. And then the Bivol would be last in the equation. Remember, like, bro, like, Canelo, I think Canelo eventually is going to be done with 168. So remember when Canelo fought Liam Smith, then fought Chavez Jr. at 164.5? But they were talking about when they fought Liam Smith, he's not ready for 160 yet. Basically ducked Canelo. I mean, Golovkin a little bit, you know, aged him out a little bit, got him a year or so, a little older. This is what I'm thinking Canelo's doing. He's testing the waters at cruiserweight You know, and looking at 175, like, let me see how this shit play out a little bit. But I'm going, bro, he gonna fight the winner of Joe Smith versus Colin Johnson. Collect that scalp. Or, you know, he might pull a power move after Makabu, or whoever wins between Makabu and Machunu. Wow, you pronounce the guy's name, you know, disrespect. He's probably, listen, I'm tired of it. It makes me sick. It sickens me. But Bivol, I'm not high on Bivol, bro. I'm not high on Bivol. No, he's good. Don't get me wrong. He's good. He's good. He's good. I don't want people twisting my words. But I just don't trust him. Anyway, let's move on. We got to talk about, put the topics. There's some new shit I'm trying. You know, we got to, monetize. We got to make fucking money, man. Shit. So, I put everything down below in the description box, the topics. We got to talk about Probellum. You know what I think about? Y'all know what Probellum is? I know a lot of people don't know. Probellum is a big deal, but you're not paying attention. They don't have enough fighters yet to really shake things up. They got Nonito Donaire, who just won this weekend, body shot KO against Raymond Gaballo on Showtime. They got Badu the Draw Jack. They got Regis Prograis, right? They got Casimero, Sonny Edwards. Well, anyway, Probellum had their first card this weekend. In fact, let's go take a gander. Y'all want to see this nerd shit I got? Look, watch this. We can't spend too much time on it, though. Where's it at? Hold on. There it is. Oh, y'all hear it. Y'all don't see it. So anyway, I recorded. Over here. Here we go. So I recorded the Probellum card this weekend. Let's see here. What's going on? Hold on. Give me a minute. Oh, man. I don't want to do any of that. Oh, this is from, I haven't used this since I purchased the last pay-per-view. This is the pay-per-view channel. Well, anyway, Probellum is run by Richard Schaefer. But the rumor is, oh, man. Hold on, guys. We can't do it like that because it's going to cut off. It's run by Richard Schaefer, but the word on the curb is that it's funded by NTK Global or NTK Daniel Callahan, that guy. You know, they're saying it's drug money. That's the shit that's going around. That MTK is like drug crime money and people got like sand in their vaginas over it. Me personally, I do not give a shit. Like Don King once stumped a man out, shot another dude. Like, bro, all of a sudden people are like, oh, MTK Global, the drug money, mate. You know, hold on. Well, anyway, they had their first event in Dubai this past weekend, headlined by Sonny Edwards, IBF 112-pound champion, taking on a IBF mandatory in Jayson Mama. Hold on, let me try to find this shit real quick. Overall, it was a solid event. All right, we found it. We found it. It was a solid event. So we're just going to skim through it. Here in the States, Probellum cards, or at least this last card, was on a channel called, what's this channel called? Hold on. AXS TV. I have Verizon Fios. But anyway, let's check it out. Hold on. I don't know how to use mine. Sorry, guys. It's a little bootleg. My bad. I had Xfinity, then I switched over to this John O'Carroll. He was on the card. I had Xfinity before, and I switched over to Verizon. And frankly, the Verizon interface is trash. Oh, and look, they got Radio Raheem. He's like their post-fight interviewer. But overall, it was a solid card, you know. But you can see where they can improve on things. Because for one, hold on, I'm trying to figure out how to fast forward. Let's just keep it fast forwarding. How about that? We can't spend too much time on it. But there's a lot of room for improvement. For example, their replays are fucked. You know, after something major happens, I want to see replays. You dig? And I believe that Probellum is going to be a big deal because basically it seems as though they're backed by MTK. And if you don't know, there's secret rumors going around that Terence Crawford is an MTK global fighter. So if he was to fight on Probellum, he would probably bring big money to this AXS TV channel, whatever the hell it is. But yeah, you had Donaire take on a Norberto. Hold on, let me pull it up right here. Norberto Jimenez, and dude was pissed because the fight was supposed to go 12 rounds, and they stopped it in 10. So in round 10, he was taking a round off, like coasting, and he ended up well, the fight ended in a draw. But long story short, yeah, he was pissed off. Hold on, let me pull it up. So here was the card right here. Sonny Edwards had defeated Jayson Mama in a unanimous decision. Not really nothing too exciting. He called out Julio Cesar Martinez, WBC champion, who, you know, the controversial fight against his brother, Charlie Edwards, who was now moved up. Here was the card. Sonny Edwards headline against Jayson Mama. It was supposed to be John Rio Casimero defending his WBO 118-pound title against Paul Butler, but Casimero had issues during fight week being sick, and the rumors or the allegations are that he wasn't going to make weight, so they came up with some bullshit. Paul Butler was supposed to fight Joseph Abecco. Joseph Abecco is the WBO mandatory for Casimero. They were supposed to fight Mina Paul Butler and Abecco for the WBO interim, but Paul Butler didn't want to fight because he wants to fight for the real title. Can't blame him. So that fight got scrapped. So here's the card and how it was broadcast. John O'Carroll versus Leo Mosquita. Donaire versus Norberto Jimenez. And then Sonny Edwards versus Jayson Mama. Not a great card. Not nothing like good that's going to be like, oh shit, you see that motherfucking Sonny Edwards card? Nah. But overall, it was like, okay, Probellum. I like that. The big news from this is that they got a US TV deal. That's a big deal. That's some big news. They got a US TV deal, you know? So, Nonito Donaire stops Raymart Gaballo on Showtime Championship Boxing. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Was Gaballo a WBC mandatory? Was he a mandatory at 118? I don't know. Hold on. Oh, yeah, he was. He was the interim, so he was the mandatory. Stopped him via body shot. Which round was that? Donaire still got some major power at his age, and he's, what, 39 years old. That's amazing. Remember, he's back down at 118 pounds. I didn't think he would last at 118 pounds this long. Bro, I don't give a fuck about, like, that MTK Global shit. Like, that shit don't mean nothing to me. That's crazy for him to go back down to 118. Remember his last fight before he moved down was against Carl Frampton at 126, in which he lost. But he wasn't at 118 pounds for 8 years. 9 years. No, excuse me. Yeah, 9 years before he moved down and fought Ryan Burnett in the World Boxing Super Series tournament. Lost to Inoue in the finals in a very close fight in which he broke Inouye's face. He broke his face. He broke his orbital bone. So he defeated Gaballo. Now the question is, what's going on with Inoue, who fought on a dark match that wasn't televised here in the States by Top Rank, in a stay busy fight against this guy right here? I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I overslept, so I didn't watch the fight. But basically, some bullshit reason was given. The reason why Inoue unified WBA Super IBF and Ring Magazine 118-pound bantamweight champion, the bullshit reason that was given, according to Dan Rayfield, was that they couldn't secure a stable link or some old bullshit, you know, to the fight here in the States. But yet, people who know how to watch fights were able to watch the fight. So to me, it's like, what was the reason Top Rank didn't pick up the fight? It doesn't make any sense. Like, was Japan or the handlers charging too much? Don't make no sense to me. So yeah, now since we're in the last 20 minutes of the video, we got to talk about Tank Davis in the 135-pound division. Now that all the main guys have fought, Teofimo Lopez lost to George Kambosos. Clearly, Teofimo Lopez is moving up to 140 pounds. It must be stated that Teofimo Lopez was hospitalized. He had a tear, from my understanding, in his esophagus, and he could have died in the ring. We don't like making excuses. Don't shoot the messenger. Just got to bring that up. But still, nonetheless, George Kambosos showed me enough to be like, all right, he can beat Teofimo Lopez, sick or not. Just my personal opinion. Devin Haney defeated Jojo Diaz in a fight where, here's my thing with Devin Haney. Devin Haney is good. But he was supposed to shine and stop old man 1 foot, 1 shoe Gamboa. You see what I'm saying? He was supposed to shine and stop the inconsistent, don't know what you're going to get, Jorge Linares. And then with Jojo Diaz, he just didn't look good. So even though I think he's good, it's still like a big question mark around him. Yeah, he's still young. How old is he again? 23 years old or something like that? Still young, but he's in the deep end now because he is a WBC champion. Now, when it comes to George Kambosos, to me, he's proved a lot. You know, he proved he got power. He's proved he got the heart. Remember, he was standing in the pocket with Teofimo. You know, he got knocked down, got back up, recovered well. Some people may say that Teofimo let him off the hook. To me, he's proved that, like, he can hang in the top 5. So let's just go ahead and get this out of the way now. My top 5. Now, this is off accomplishments. So you can have 2 lists. You can have a list off accomplishments, and you can have a list off, okay, you know, who do I feel is number 1? But let's go off accomplishments. Kambosos number 1. It's hard. See, I don't feel comfortable saying this. But let me just go ahead and give you my top 5. That'll be easier for me and to help you understand my logic. So listen, I think Lomachenko beats them all. I do. So I think that if push came to shove, if you needed somebody to beat these guys, to be able to figure out how to beat these guys, I'm going to say my number 1 is Lomachenko. Number 2, Tank Davis. Number 3, Devin Haney. Number 4, George Kambosos. Number 5, he's not really at 135 pounds anymore. But number 5, Teofimo Lopez. Now, off accomplishments, you have to give George Kambosos number 1. Tank Davis is undefeated and fighting at, you know, like in significant fights, number 2. Lomachenko, number 3. Devin Haney, number 4. And then some people say number 5, Ryan Garcia. 135 pounds is very deep. Now, in a perfect world, to me, what we would see next, we would see Devin Haney versus Kambosos in Australia. That would get rid of all that WBC, who's the real WBC champion franchise, regular WBC champion bullshit. And for George Kambosos, the incentive is he will be the complete A-side. Don't have to deal with any politics because Eddie Hearn would bend over backwards. He would make money, and also he would be able to become or have the chance of becoming a full-fledged, undisputed champion. No argument about the franchise and the WBC and all that bullshit. Tank Davis versus Lomachenko, that makes perfect sense to me. But will Top Rank and Mayweather Promotions, can you imagine Floyd Mayweather and Bob Arum ringside? Of course it would be pay-per-view. But where would it be? Strictly Showtime pay-per-view or ESPN? I don't think that Showtime and ESPN would do a joint pay-per-view. There's not enough money in it. And that brings us to the next argument is, me personally, I really don't give a shit about pay-per-view buys anymore. Now, here's the thing. You can't be mad at people who do care about pay-per-view buys because it's a good talking point, especially when you have boxers who gauge their marketability off of, well, I sell more this than you. I'm more popular than you. So, I do look at fans who say, why do you care about the pay-per-view buys, or why do you care about how much money they're making? Floyd Mayweather said himself on, it was HBO 24/7, it's prize fighting. Like, like, that's what it's about. Who brings in more, who gets the bigger pot or the purse. How they used to say, in the 1900s, somebody would take their hat off and go around, in the crowd, and people would be putting the money in. You see what I'm saying? They'd be taking the bet. Somebody be writing it down. Somebody else, grabbing the money, putting it in. You put how much is that? All right. And one person writing it down. And the winner of the fight gets the lion's share of the purse. So it's something that's worth talking about. It is a talking point, but I do have to go ahead and say, since, we're on the topic, it's not looking like that Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz pay-per-view did good. Because for one, I only trust numbers from a few people. Jake Donovan of Boxing Scene and Kevin Iole. And what I do is I take their numbers and I do like an average, because you never know. Mike Copinger, I don't trust his number. Rick Glosser, we don't know what's up with him. You see what I'm saying? Because he can't stand PBC, Al Heyman. But at the same time, it's a Sunday night pay-per-view on a school night, when we've had so many pay-per-views for the last several months, and still pay-per-views. Remember, we start off the new year $39.99 with Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin on pay-per-view. And then the rumor is at the end of the month, January the 29th, we're going to get Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. February, Errol Spence is going to return against somebody. And of course, the way it's looking, we're going to have pay-per-views each month out. So to believe, and this is what's been circulating around, the rumor is that Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz did anywhere between 50 to 100,000 pay-per-view buys. Do you believe that? Tank Davis fights do be trending. The stars do be coming out. But is it selling for $79.99 on a Sunday night, pay-per-view, school night? In December, are people buying that fight, putting $79.99 on the bill during the Christmas season? No official number has been released. We're not hearing anything. And with the way Leonard Ellaby, he's probably still on a rampage right now. In fact, let's go take a little gander at his Twitter. By the way, I like Leonard Ellaby. He's grown on me a lot, bro. Because he be out there in the trenches. They're going to war over these numbers, bro. Like, he been getting at it. Me, personally, my prediction was 150 to 200,000. So basically, the issue a lot of people are talking about is, how come he won't fight anyone outside of Mayweather Promotions? Me, personally, I think that Rolly Romero fight is still alive. I think that the alleged victims are going to be paid off. There's not going to be any type of court hearings or anything. And I think that fight is still alive. It is no secret that promoters, and I'm saying this, walking on the eggshells, it's no secret that promoters like to keep things in-house. But in the case of PBC and Mayweather Promotions, Mayweather himself has said multiple times in detail on why they're keeping it in-house. I understand they want to make money off of each event and make sure they're not losing any money. And when you bring in another promoter, everything, it's not the same. But Tank can't call himself the best until we see him against the other guys. And it goes for everyone all around. Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. I think Ryan Garcia should be at the back of the line. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. He's not at 135 anymore, but Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos, these guys all need to be fighting each other. Look, Leonard Ellaby was going at it. And at the end of the day, this was about pay-per-view buys. you know, people like, all right, release the numbers. What's going on? Now, Steven Espinoza released a tweet few days or so ago, basically talking about how it did 50,000 or so in digital buys only. Now, me personally, I haven't purchased a pay-per-view through the Showtime digital app since the Charlo doubleheader. The reason why I don't is because if you buy it digitally, I don't know how it is on mobile, if you buy it on your tablet or on, you know, your, you know, whatever, on your phone, whatever. But I purchased it through desktop, and you can't rewind. And there's no DVR. So say, for example, you buy the pay-per-view through Showtime.com. Pay-per-view. You fall asleep. You wake up in the middle of the night. You can't go and rewatch it. It'd be gone. There's no like save. No. So I buy it through my cable. You see what I'm saying? But me personally, I would pick Lomachenko and Tank to beat all of the 135 pounders now. But I think that Lomachenko beats Tank Davis. Tank Davis, you know, he's good, but we see what they're doing with him. It's clear they're using like the Mayweather formula. You know, like, we're going to pick and choose. Go here, go here. This is a good, you know, that's what they're doing. It's clear as day. I'm not saying nothing's wrong with it, but at the same time, it's like, y'all got to fight somebody. We can't keep going off of all this blind faith. With that being said, we're going to be back tomorrow for the Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley press conference. And we got a whole lot of fights to talk about after that, too, like Joe Parker, Derek Chisora, Roberto Ramirez versus Yunieski Gonzalez, Darren Williams versus Frank Gore, the Archie Beterbiev in more detail versus Marcus Browne, the Probellum second card. Thank you for watching. Follow me on Twitter at T Street Controversy with FV360. We're going to be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe the press conference at 1 p.m. Eastern, maybe 1 p.m. 2 p.m. We don't know. But I got to get up out of here. Take your time. Like the video. Subscribe.